Is there a doctor in the house? Oh.
Hey, what's up, my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the Voodoo robot's SALUS. So here we are, and there he is. And first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. It's a very small box, too. I wasn't expecting the box to be this tiny. I mean, I have small hands, too. It's such a tiny little box. It's so precious. But, you have a nice piece of artwork right up front there of SALUS. I do like that. On the side of the box, we just have Potion Series, PSO1 SALUS. On the other side, Potion Series, blah, 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 SALUS. On the bottom, you have your warning! Don't eat anything in this box. That would be very, very bad for you. On the top, same thing, SALUS. You have a little cauldron there because it's part of their Potion Series. Get it? Ah, it's clever. On the back of the box, you have your obligatory product shot, and you have a bio if you want to read it. And that's basically it for the packaging, and also included in the package is the obligatory third-party collector's card right there with a nice piece of artwork of SALUS. And on the back, I'm assuming that's the same bio, just done in Japanese, and you have tech specs if that interests you. Hooray for cards. So there you have that. So moving right along here, we have SALUS, which is Voodoo Robot's take on a masterpiece Ratchet. Yes! Very weird timing, but yes, this is supposed to be their take on a masterpiece Ratchet. And this is a review sample that was sent to me, so thank you guys. But yeah, definitely weird timing for this to be released. I mean, not their fault. I mean, Takara's been just coming out of nowhere with these masterpiece releases, with these reveals, so, you know, it's not their fault, it's just bad timing. But, yeah, here he is in his alt mode, his little white ambulance van of life savaging. Yeah. So, as you can see, getting close here so you can see the details. Nice tinted windshields all around, even the back. Pretty cool. It's even got some windshield wipers going on here, and windshield wipers on the front. Nice silver paint here on the headlights. Nice silver on the bumper. You even got some little yellow right here for the turn signals. This front bumper doesn't tab in all the way, as you can see. It has a little bit of a gap there, and it looks like it has he has buck teeth. Like, oh look, the little ambulance has buck teeth. That's so cute. Oh, anyway, you have the side view mirrors there, done in silver. Just the bold red stripe going down the side. Silver rims. On the back, you do get the tail lights done in silver, yellow and red. And you get, and this is where my tongue stops working, you get silver on the exhaust pipes right there. And of course, you have the light bar up top, you have the red cross. Oh no, it's a red cross! Somebody's going to get sued! Apparently that was a thing with the official version. They couldn't have the red cross on there, but yeah, there you go. He does have this bit here that does kind of hang down. It actually doesn't hinder the wheels in any way. He actually does roll. Very nice, very smoothly. That doesn't hinder that at all, which is nice. It looks like it should be scraping along the ground, but it actually doesn't. So take that for what it is. The paint is a little bit on the sloppy side, at least on this side right here. You can see the paint just kind of, I don't know if that's for me transforming it. I don't remember if it came out of the box like that or that's for me transforming it. But still, it still just looks a little sloppy here. You can see it kind of slopped over on this ridge right here. And you know, the white doesn't totally match up because this is transparent plastic that's been painted over as opposed to just white molded plastic. So when that happens, it's never going to match up perfectly. So it is what it is. But yeah, that, and underneath you can't really see any robot. Like I said, you just have this chunk underneath, but yeah, you can't really see any robot. Everything's pretty well hidden. You can kind of see Ratchet's head in there, the back of his head, so it's kind of sort of visible head syndrome. But there you have that. Now you do get little filler pieces when you actually get this and take it out of the box. There are going to be a lot of little empty spots. You'll see right here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right up there, and 10. And there's 10 on each side. And, yeah, just little, I guess maybe that's where the piece is attached to the sprue or something. I don't know. But you do get little filler bits for that, as you can see, because they're already all installed in there. And they just come on these little sprues right here. You just snip them off. All of the pieces are actually individually numbered, and they give you a little guide right here telling you what piece goes where. So you can just take those little filler bits, and you just take them, push them in, and they actually do fill in all those gaps very, very nicely. So there you go. Of course, you do still get some, like, you know, that's where the pins go through and whatnot. So it doesn't fill everything, but it fills most of the more egregious little openings there. So yeah, they have that, which is pretty cool. So we'll get down to some comparisons right here. First, we will do Masterpiece Bumblebee. So you can see how it scales with B right there. So you have that. I think that could be pretty good scale, maybe, kind of, sort of. I don't know. So they have that. Here he is with Masterpiece Lambor. Side swipe. You can see how many scales there. Like that. And here he is with MP10 Masterpiece Prime. I always forget to flip out his little side view mirrors here. Well, it's a crucial step. You can't forget it. And there he is with MP10. Right there. So you can get an idea of his size there. So there you have that. So yeah, I mean, pretty decently sized for a, you know, Masterpiece toy. So there you go. So that's pretty much it. I mean, what it does in this mode is what it does. It rolls. Yay! So let's get right down to transformation. One thing I will say is I don't like the instructions. I mean, the instructions are good. I never got confused at any point during the transformation. The only thing I don't like about the instructions is that the pictures are just, they're way too small. The pictures, this sheet needed to be a lot bigger, or at least maybe just do, you know, front and back, and just blow all this up and, you know, just print it front and back. It would have been a lot better, because there are some instances where you're moving some, like, small pieces here, and I really couldn't tell what I was moving or what I was even looking at, you know. So definitely, you know, make the instructions bigger and a little more clear, because I was legit kind of straining my eyes to get this guy transformed. So yeah, bigger instructions, always helpful. So anyway, let's just get right down to the transformation, shall we? So first thing you're going to do is you're going to come back here. You're going to take these side panels right here and untap them right here. Just bring it out. It's on a double hinge here, so you got to take it and just rock it down. So bring that out like that. Untap that, bring it out, you kind of rock that down. You want to take the wheel and just flip it up. You see there's a tab right there. They'll tab it into the slot right there. Tab that in, bring that up, tab it in. This side tabs in a lot more securely than this side. This side actually tabs in pretty loosely. I mean, it doesn't matter, because once everything is all locked together, this becomes a non-factor, but still it does tab in pretty loosely. But, you know, something to note. Then after you do that, you're going to take this whole back section here, and you're going to pull it out. Like that, and you do have ratchet joints going on there. You're going to split the back section here. You want to take these pieces with the exhaust pipes and just rotate them around like that. Rotate that around like that. You're going to take this top section here and you're going to rotate 180 right there, and that's on a ratchet joint as well. Ratchet has a lot of ratchets on him. You're going to rotate that as well. And then you're going to take this whole assembly here and rotate that 180 like that. And again, it's on a ratchet. So rotate that down as well. And there you have that. So now you're going to come to this section here, and you're going to untab this section. You see it just tabs in right in there. So untab that. Untab that. And then you can take this whole assembly here and just bring it down like that. And let me raise the camera up a little bit so I got some room to operate. Excuse me while I adjust. So there we have that. So now we're just going to work on his legs, finish them up here. So you want to split everything here. You want to take this panel right here, and you want to flip this open like that, and then you're going to bring this down like that. And now you're just going to take this panel right here and just bring it the rest of the way down on that double hinge, and this will tab in right in there. Just take that, tab that into the side right there, make sure that's all pushed in. And you can see when that piece that you flip out, this piece here you flip out, actually fills in that wheel well, which is pretty cool. Very clever. So once you do that, you want to take this windshield right here, this mirror, whatever you want to call it. I mean, not mirror, window. Take this, slide it forward, collapse it down, and then you're going to always get confused on this because you have a couple joints to work with. You're going to bring this around this way. Yes, you're going to bring it. Yeah, you're going to rotate it this way, swing it around, and no, I did it wrong. I did it wrong. Nope, I did it wrong. I always get confused. Bring it around, swing. There we go. Okay. I got it. You want to swing this all the way around. Bring it around like that. No, I still messed it up. Oh, Lord. This part you're just going to have to just fiddle around with it to get it to do what you want. There you go. You want to bring it around. You basically want it in this orientation once it's all said and done. This part always just confuses me. But there you go. You want to bring it around like that. And this tab will tab into a slot right up in there. And tab that in. And you see this little piece will actually go right into this little, this piece will go into this little groove right up in there. Just tab that in. You want to make sure this is sitting straight too. So you just want to kind of bring that up a little bit. Now this panel doesn't tab in flush, unfortunately. You can see it always just kind of pushes itself out a little bit. It doesn't sit flush all the way. So that's a thing. But as you can see, like even though that wheel, even if the wheel doesn't tab in securely, I mean everything stays in place. It doesn't really affect anything anyway. So I just take this windshield here and just close it up. And there you got a leg done. Second verse, same as the first. Just open that up. Right there. Bring that down. Even that's on a faux ratchet. And then you just bring this down, tab it into the side, take this window, slide it forward. And this side is actually a lot tighter. The one on the other side is pretty loose, but this one's actually quite tight. So a little tolerance issues here and there also. But anyway, now what you're going to do is, let me see if I can do this right. Let me see. Bring this up. Bring it sideways like that. Then bring it. There we go. We got it. And then swing all this down. Aha! I got it. I did a thing. It's the first thing I've ever done. So, and again, we'll just tab right into the side right there. Of course, you want to make sure this joint is straight and everything. And that's going into that little groove right there. And on this side also, it's pretty much the same problem. You see it doesn't really tab in. It doesn't really tab in flush, unfortunately. That's just an issue with both sides for some reason. It doesn't seem like anything's really, I don't know. Maybe the windshield is what's hindering it from doing that? But there's nothing else you can do with the windshield, though, because you can't leave it open because there's not enough room for it. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that just doesn't tab in super flush. You're always going to have this little gap right there, which is unfortunate. But anyway, let me just close that up. And then you got the legs done. So there you have that. So now we'll start working on the top side here. You want to untab the front bumper here. With that, tabs into each other, and again, it tabs into the little buck teeth right there. And this is the part where things get a little bit scary. You want to make sure this black piece right here clears this white part right there. And you can see actually some of the, I'll show it off better when I get this untabbed. But there is a little tab that goes right behind this piece right here. And you kind of have to flex this back a little bit to kind of get it untabbed, and that scares me a bit. I mean, I mean, you can see there's a little bit of natural give in there, but still, it's not something that I really want to be flexing because this is also, you know, this is also clear plastic right here. Like all this is clear plastic. So I don't know if I'm stressing anything. I don't know if those are stress marks right there. Those might actually be little, tiny little stress marks right there. I'm not too sure, but yeah, that's something that does worry me a little bit. And you can see, you know, getting this black piece past this, you can see here that some of the black paint has actually kind of scratched off, and it's now on this piece right there. So again, a little bit of clearance issues here with this figure, but anyway, just want to take that side, bring it up, do the same thing over here, just untab everything, and then just pass that over like that. And then just kind of take this, and again, just kind of flex it back a little bit so you can clear that. And there you go, bring that up like that. Once you do that, you want to take this section right here and untab it. See here, just 2 tabs right there, tabbing right up there. And these will be his arms. You just take this whole thing and bring it down like that. And you just swing these up. You split the arms right here. Yeah. Tab in very securely. And then you just bring the arms out and to the sides right there. And then you can bring this backpack section down. You can see it's on this big armature right here. Right there. Bring it, and then you just want to rotate it 180 like that. So you want to come here. You want to fold in these 2 little panels right there. You want to come to the wheel. The wheel is on a double hinge right here, and you want to take the wheel and you want to bring it out. So you want to push this up, which is on its own ratchet. Bring that up so the wheel is sitting out like that. And once you do that, you fold this whole panel in on this double hinge, and you want to make sure this hinge is sitting straight. And this will just tab in right over this tab right here. And lock that in place right there. You can take this panel right here, flip that up for now. And we'll leave this alone for now. And just do the same thing on the other side. Second verse, same as the first. Just take that wheel and push it up. Like that. This one's a little bit tighter. Yeah, right there. Like that. And then you just bring that around. Tab that in. And then you take these 2 sides and you just swing them in. And you can see they just fill in that gap right there. Like that. And then you take these 2 panels and you just flip them up. And that finishes off the backpack. Now you can take his chest assembly here and just take it and fold it down. His little buck teeth will go behind this bit right here. And lock all that in place. Boop. Just like that. Then you come in here and flip up his head. You want to flip it all the way forward. Like that. And then you want to bring the backpack up on this double hinge here. Just bring it up. And the one thing that does bug me is that there's no real locking point for the backpack. Pretty much what I do is I just kind of take these pieces right here and just kind of sit them above these 2 bits right here. It almost looks like these bits should have been like hollowed out, you know, so they could be grooves for these pieces to sit in. That just looks like that would have made sense, but they didn't do that. I don't know why, but you just want to bring it up, and like I said, I just take it and I just sit it above those 2 bits right there, like that. And again, I really wish there was just some kind of like solid locking point for this backpack, but there isn't. It really just does kind of just sit there. But anyway, you want to take this panel after you've done that and just bring this down against his back, and then we'll just end up kind of resting like on this ledge right here. So just kind of sit it right there. And it'll just rest right there. Again, there's no locking point anywhere for this, which is unfortunate. And then you can take the head and bring it back, and it just sits on that panel right there. And there you got that done. So now, moving on to the arms. You just want to rotate them. But before you do that, you want to push these panels up. This panel's a little loose. This would have been nice if there was a little locking point there. If you just pushed it up and it would just kind of, you know, just clipped into place somehow. It's not super loose. I mean, granted, once you flip the fists out, they stay in place, but still, it's a little looser than I would like. But this side actually, again, this side holds very well. This side always has like a little bit, you can kind of see it, has a tendency to kind of droop back down a little bit sometimes. But anyway, after you do that, rotate the arms so the elbow is oriented properly, and then you want to just open up this panel right here, flip out the hand, close it up. There you go. Second verse, same as the first. Rotate, open, flip out, close up. And I think we're done. Are we done? Yes, we're done. Yay! We're done. So there we have SALUS in his robot mode, and that sure is a Ratchet. Pretty cool looking Ratchet, though, I will say. I mean, he's definitely a nice looking Ratchet. Yeah. I dig them, like I said. Yeah, like my one major gripe is just the backpack. I really wish there were locking points for the backpack instead of it just sitting there and I'm just kind of wedging things on there to kind of keep it in place, and it does kind of become a bit of an annoyance, especially when you're trying to move things around. But we're getting close here on the head sculpt. It's a very nice head sculpt. Very ratchety. I dig it. Nice blue on the eyes, nice silver paint on the face. You do get the red crosses. Oh no, somebody gonna get sued! But anyway, he does have the red crosses on his shoulders. Got the red fists here. I mean, overall, it's a nice design. It looks good. Again, it's unfortunate you end up with these little gaps there. It doesn't sit perfectly flush. He does end up with the windshields on his feet, which is a little bit, not crazy about it. But due to transformation, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, all around though, I mean, the transformation is pretty smooth. I mean, everything has somewhere to go. I mean, he has a little bit of a backpack, but it's, nothing, it's not nothing too much anyway. It's not too much of a backpack. You can't even really see it when you're looking at him dead on. So I think everything compacts pretty well on his back. So he doesn't really have too much junk hanging off of him. So, yeah, that. Now, articulation-wise, this is where things get a little bit troublesome here. The head is on a ball joint. It is quite tight. You do get some side-to-side movement. He can look down. You can also use the transformation joint to get him to look down. If you want him to look up, for some reason it's really hard to get him to look up. You have to pry his head up. And when you do that, sometimes you'll end up kind of knocking the backpack out of whack since there isn't, again, because it's not locked in anywhere. But you have that right there. And this is something I really need explained to me. If anybody has the answer, please let me know. Why does his head open up? That's his head open. Why? What I don't understand why his head open. Why does his head open? What? Why? Why? I don't. Anyway, head's on the ball joints. The shoulders are on a very squeaky joint. They are meant to be ratchet joints, and you can see right here. You can kind of see the. I just have to turn it around here. You see right there that the post does have the teeth on it, man, and you can see this piece right up there is supposed to be what are supposed to lock it in place. It doesn't really work. You can see it's very, very squeaky. It doesn't ratchet. It just squeaks. So that doesn't work at all. And on this side, if you turn it around here, you can actually see that the plastic is actually it's actually kind of grinded that down a bit. So eventually that's not going to be a ratchet, even though it doesn't really work as a ratchet, but eventually that's just going to be a regular friction joint, which is probably what they should have done in the first place, was just make it a regular friction joint. Because it doesn't really work as a ratchet. You can see it's actually kind of grinding itself down. So that rotation of the shoulders doesn't really work. He does have outward movement on a ratchet joint, and that does work. It's nice and clicky right there. The elbows are on a faux ratchet here, so you do get a couple clicks of movement at the top here. So you get 1, 2, 3 clicks here. And you also get a couple clicks here at the bottom with about 90 degrees of movement. And of course, you can work that into a double jointed elbow, which is nice for full range of movement. There is a bicep swivel. You get a wrist swivel. The hands are articulated. You do get the thumb on a ball joint. The index finger is separate, so you have a joint there and a joint there. So you got that going on, and these three fingers are molded together. They can open and close. You have a waist swivel. Legs can go forward on a ratchet. And again, it's that same issue with the shoulders. Like, it's a ratchet joint. You can hear it click, but you can hear it squeak at the same time too. Which is kind of, I don't know. And again, those little hip pieces there will move out of the way to accommodate the movement. You do have outward movement, which is on a ratchet. It squeaks a little bit, but it works a lot more successfully than the forward and backward movement. So again, you move that much forward, pretty much that much back. You do get a swivel, bit of swivel at the hip itself. You do get 90 degrees of knee bend, and that's a nice ratchet. That works very well. Right there. You do get rotation at the knee with a nice ratchet. That works very well. Right there. And the feet, you can use the armature here. If I untab this piece here. You can use this armature that's in here to help you kind of, get the feet in any kind of orientation you want. You can have it, you can use it to kind of point the foot down. You can use it to angle the foot up. So it's nice that you have those extra joints in there to help you do that. And he does have ankle tilts, which is very nice, to either side. So there you have that. So yeah, pretty posable. One thing too about the outward movement of the hips is that it does kind of suffer from that problem of, I wish there was that in between click, because you go from his legs right together into kind of a pretty splayed out position there, and I wish there was just that click in between, or if it was just a regular friction joint, like have it ratchet for forward and backward movement, and just use a regular friction hinge for the outward movement, and that would have made things a lot better. It seems like a lot of companies, like even Hasbro, are making this mistake here with the hip ratchets. I don't know. But there you have that. Now, he does include weapons. He does have his gun right here. It's done in gray plastic. Right there. And it's your typical kind of, Masterpiece-esque gun handle here with the tabs on either side. So you hold it in his left or his right hand. So you can just open his hand up right here. And there's the slot in his palm. Take it, slot it in. Close his hand up around it. And his thumb up there. And there you go. And he does hold it very securely, which is nice. So he has that, and his squeakiness. And another thing too is just due to the play in that armature, because you see there is some play in here with the ratchets. Due to that little bit of play in the ratchets there, sometimes he does have a tendency to kind of want to wobble backwards. He kind of wants to lean back a little bit, so you do kind of have to kind of readjust things to get him to stand straight and not lean. So you have that. It's a thing. It's a thing. He also does come with this extra gun right here, which is an homage to the gun that came with the G1 toy, which I never really liked. I didn't like this gun on the G1 toy, and I don't like it now. It's just a weird looking thing. I don't even know what it's supposed to be. But there it is, done in silver. And you can have him holding that if you want. And his other hand. Take it, stab it in, close his hand around it. And there you go. Oops. Got his finger all bent out of shape there. Go and get his finger around it. There we go. Yeah, I'm holding that too. Right there. So, there you go. These are ratchets. With a lot of ratchets. Now, for comparison, here he is with Masterpiece Bumblebee. And we'll bring in Sideswipe too while we're at it. Just get them both in there. You can see how he scales with Bumblebee and the Swipester. There you go. So you have that. Here he is with Masterpiece Trax. You can see there how he scales with Trax. Here he is with MP10. You can see how he scales there with Prime. Right there. I guess if you stood him up a little bit straighter, it's a bit more accurate. Get him standing stock straight there. There you go. There he is with Prime. And here he is with Fans Toys, Tesla, their Masterpiece Perceptor. So you can see how those two scale together. So, there you have that. That just looks like he has to go to the bathroom really bad. Just do that. That works a bit better. So, there you go. There he is with Perceptor. So, there you have that. So, yeah, SALUS. He's a nice Ratchet. Is he perfect? No. There are definitely things on this figure that needed to be rethought, redone, refined. You know, like I said, the backpack, I wish there was locking points for the backpack. You know, like I said, there's that little bit of play right here because, you know, this armature doesn't lock in anywhere, so it ends up leading to that little bit of play in there. So as you can see, he likes to wobble a lot. The ratchets on the shoulders that don't work at all and are just kind of grinding themselves down, that needed to be rethought. And even on these hips also, like that needed to be, you know, refined. So yeah, it's not perfect. Plastic quality wise, the plastic is a little thin. Nothing that really feels brittle to me. Like I've been messing with this guy for a couple days now, and like I never really had this feeling of, oh, something's gonna break because this plastic feels so thin. You know, like it feels, the plastic, as far as I'm concerned, feels good. It doesn't feel thin. It doesn't feel like it's brittle. The only thing that really scares me a little bit is just, you know, when you're transforming him and just untabbing those side windows. That's the only thing that kind of scares me a little bit, because you do kind of have to flex things back a little bit to get that tab to clear. So that's the only thing that really scares me. And, you know, there's some clearance issues and, you know, just some tolerance issues throughout. You know, there are a couple instances where you saw, like, on one side it's a little loose and on one side it's a little too tight. And it's just kind of like a lot of inconsistencies going on with this figure. But this is their first release, and I always cut third-party companies some slack when it comes to their first release. I know for TFCon they released the Diaclone colored Ironhide, but you know it's the same mold, so still this is their first release. So you know I always use Mastermind Creations as the example, because if you remember, Mastermind Creations' first release was in no way a perfect figure. That thing broke if you looked at it funny. But they used that and learned from it, and each figure got better and better and better as time went on, and now they're at the top of the game. So, you know, the hope is that they'll take what they learned from this and they apply it to their future releases, and it'll get better and better and better as they go. And, you know, and hopefully, you know, I mean, of course, only time will tell if this company will be able to move forward. But, you know, like I said, hopefully they'll take what they learned from this and apply it to their future releases, and everything will just get better and better as time goes. That's the hope. You know, as far as this versus the official Masterpiece Ratchet, whether this is better or worse, I don't know. I can't say, because as of this recording, Masterpiece Ratchet and Ironhide have not been released yet, so I can't sit here and say this is better than this is worse than this. I can't say, because I'm not holding the other one in my hand, and I am going to get the official ones when they come out. You know, but he is a nice Ratchet. One thing I will give this over the official Masterpiece Ratchet is I like that the transformation is all-inclusive. I like that all of the van becomes the robot. Whereas with the official version, you're taking a chunk of the alt mode off, and it's just going to sit to the side, and, you know, you don't need it for robot mode at all. That legit bugs me about the official version. I mean, I know what they're going for with that, because, you know, the G1 toy had the bit that turned into the little battle platform, which is all well and good. They always have to do the nudge, nudge, wink, wink to the G1 toy. I understand that. I get it. But it bugs me because, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have room to display little battle platforms and things, so that chunk of alt mode is going to end up sitting in the box in the closet. So that's why it bugs me, because I'm not going to do anything with that, and I'm going to have to dig it out of the closet whenever I want to transform him back into van mode, and, you know, that bugs me about the official version. So one thing that I will put this over on the official version is that, yeah, it's an all-inclusive transformation. All of the van becomes a robot. You're not taking anything off and sitting it to the side. So, you know, it does have that over the official version. But, you know, like I said, I mean, I can make a better comparison once I actually have the official version in hand. As of right now, I mean, I'm just going by pictures. I mean, they both look good. The official Ratchet looks good. This does look good. Don't get me wrong. It looks good. And just, I didn't show this off here. Some nice molded details in here also. You get some little pistons and whatnot, which is pretty cool. But, I mean, he does look good. But, again, there are some things on him that needed to be, like I said, you know, rethought, redone, refined. He's not perfect. He does have its issues. I know, excuse me, I'm sorry. My apologies. Something in my throat there. But, you know, price-wise, I know on Big Bad Toy Store, he is going for $119.99, so 120 bucks, and the official Masterpiece Ratchet is going for $89.99, so 90 bucks. So it's only a $30 difference. It's not a huge difference here between the two, but I still know that that will factor into people's decision-making process. But at least it's not a huge gap in price. So take that for what it's worth in your decision-making process. But again, you know, does this need to exist? Yes and no. I mean, no, because, again, we have an official one coming out. But yes, because, hey, options. There ain't nothing wrong with that. So there you have that. I think I'm done yapping and blabbing and running my mouth. I'm going to take a nap. I'm just kidding. But anyway, there you have that. So if you would like a SALUS of your own, you can always check out BigBadToyStore.com for availability. There will be a link in the description down below, so check that out. You can also check out my third-party Transformers playlist for any reviews you may have missed, also linked in the description down below, so check that out as well. And I think that's pretty much it, so don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Lori Plan, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below, and I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So, there is the Voodoo Robots SALUS, and this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Big Geek, be proud, palm in your face. Oh, man. Optimus, are you alright? Yeah, I just, got done with a battle with the Decepticons. I have cramps. I got a cramp. Just go get me some pizza bagels. That'll loosen me right up. That's all I need. Okay. Sure. Oh, Ratchet! Optimus, what happened? Those stupid Decepticons ambushed me, and I have a cramp. Quick, give me 20 cc's of pizza bagels. What? Ratchet! Yes, sir. Our energon supplies are running low. Let me guess. And you have a cramp. And I have a cramp! But that's not the point. I need you to synthesize some pizza bagels into a new energon resource. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Ratchet? Where are you going? Can you at least help me with my cramp? Fix your own cramp.